Check, check, check. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony's about ready to begin, so if you would kindly silence your cell phones at this time, that'd be fantastic. And we will be off to go. So the rain took out our music, got the speakers wet, but the mic has still survived, so we'll go with what we've got, right?
I've got a backup in the truck if you need some. We've got another PA with me.
So none of that classical music they play at the wedding?
We'll see ya. Yes, he asked permission, that's okay. Gabby's coming, they're walking. Gabby is. They're coming. They're walking from the trailer where Casey is.
Casey coming?
Casey's coming in a minute after they get up here. Just sit still. Come on, Gabby. They're giving him a chance to take pictures as they walk down the aisle. That's why. It's photo opportunities. All right. You watch for your daddy. Here she comes.
Please rise.
Where are we sitting?
We'll stand.
Do we have to? Is it requirement?
Watch her.
Who presents this woman to be united in marriage to this man?
Right.
Shake his hand. Give a photo. Your daughter gets a kiss. Mitchell has to wait for his kiss. All right. Join here. You may be seated. Before we begin, Mitchell and Casey would like to pause for a moment to remember those who can't be present here today and those who are no longer with us. As we begin, Mitchell and Casey would like to take a moment to especially thank and recognize a few people for their role in their relationship and traveling great distances and so forth. Susan Day, the bride's mom, Patrick Day, the bride's dad, Lori Mays, the groom's mom, Robert Mays, the groom's dad, Tricia and Ron Shirley for hosting the wedding at their beautiful and promised to be dry home. Quite lovely nonetheless, right? And we're going to do this wedding regardless. The tent is standing or not. We gather as a community of family and friends and feel ripples of excitement and tremors of joy as we celebrate the marriage of Mitchell and Casey. God has created a world of harmony. Soaring birds, towering trees, brisk wind, a little bit of rain, animals of all kinds, each unique, each in relationship and harmony with the others. God's first gift was breathing life into humans and turning us toward each other to live in equality and unity. Mitchell and Casey have come here to affirm their love for each other and enter into this sacred union. Marriage is a gift. Marriage is an opportunity for love to be learned. Marriage is a journey in which we as the travelers are faced with many choices and are responsible for these choices. Marriage is a call to servanthood. Marriage is a call to friendship. Marriage is a call to suffering. Marriage is not an event, but a way of life. Marriage involves intimacy in all areas for it to be fulfilling. Today, Mitchell and Casey, you come together bringing all of you to this marriage, all of your wonderful parts, all of your hurts and pains. You especially bring today all of your hopes and dreams for this marriage. You both have tremendous faith in each other as you trust your future to the other's care. You have excellent reasons for believing you belong together, but you have no guarantees. Instead, you stand together about to accept on faith the challenge of creating the future together. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for. You marry in faith that God has called you to live as one. You promise to be faithful to one another in big things as well as small. Your constant faith in each other will give form and substance to the beautiful hopes you have for your future. Faith is the conviction of things not seen. Unless you're an unusual couple, at times your marriage won't look anything like the vision you celebrate today. You may not feel much evidence of the love you now feel so keenly. At such times, remember this moment. Remember the hopes and dreams that have been entrusted to your care. Marriage begins with a leap of faith that says, I will, before an unknown and unknowable future. Marriage is about being full of faith or faithful to one another. Faithfulness respects each other's ideas and feelings, keeps each other's secrets, guards each other's dignity, and honors each other in public and in private. Faithfulness is built from 10,000 minute acts of trust and trustworthiness. In such faith, you'll find the fulfillment of all the hopes and dreams you have today. May God bless you both. Amen. Mitchell and Casey, have you come here freely without reservation to join together lawfully in marriage? If so, say, I have. Before God and family and friends, ask you to affirm your vows to each other as you enter into this covenant marriage and begin to share all the joys of this new relationship, whatever the future may hold. Share your vows for yourself. Either way.
I vow to always love you, to be your best friend, your supporter, and your biggest fan. I promise to keep playing silly games with you for all time. I promise to keep having fun laugh arguments with you, where neither of us are right, but it's still fun. I vow to love, support, and cheer you on no matter what path life may take. Above all, I vow to be the best I can be and to continue to learn with you and move forward. And to continue to expand our love, facing our future together with a big, goofy smile on my face. I will love you from now until forever.
Here we go.
Every time I tried to sit down to write anything on a piece of paper, I started bawling my eyes out. So I decided it would just gonna wing it. When you asked me to go on a date with you, I told you, no, you don't want to do that. I am crazy. Walk away now. And you told me, you don't get to make decisions for me. I want to date you. And here we are, 5.5 years later. We've been through 2 years of long distance and moving in at the beginning of a worldwide pandemic. And you've done already all the things you promised to do today. You've played silly games. We have all sorts of ridiculous fake arguments, and you're my best friend, and we do everything together. And I promise that I'll do the dishes more. I feel like that's the best thing I can do to show you that I love you. It's the chores.
Well, good. All right. Mitchell, do you take Casey to be your wedded wife, to live together in marriage? Do you promise to love her, comfort her, honor and keep her, for better or worse, for richer or poor, in sickness and health, and forsaking all others, be faithful only to her for as long as you both shall live? And Casey, do you take Mitchell to be your wedded husband, to live together in marriage? Do you promise to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, for better or worse, for richer or poor, in sickness and health, and forsaking all others, be faithful only to him for as long as you both shall live? May I have the rings? These rings are an outward and visible sign of invisible truth which binds two hearts in one. As such, they're the symbols of the enduring and unending quality of the love which is now expressed between Mitchell and Casey. Mitchell, repeat after me. Casey, this ring I give you is my personal gift, my personal promise of love, trust, and pride that you are my wife. Casey, repeat after me. Mitchell,
Mitchell,
this ring I give you
this ring I give you
is my personal gift,
is my personal gift,
my personal promise
my personal promise
of love, trust, and pride
of love, trust, and pride
that you are my husband.
that you are my husband.
Hold each other's hands, look lovingly into each other's eyes, ignore me. These are the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you, that are holding yours on your wedding day, as you promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. These are the hands that work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands that passionately love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other. These are the hands that hold you when fear or grief fills your mind. These are the hands that countless times wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow, tears of joy. These are the hands that will tenderly hold your children. These are the hands that will help you hold your family as one. These are the hands that will give you strength when you need it. And lastly, these are the hands that even when wrinkled and aged, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. A part of the Christian heritage is the taking of the bread and cup, as Christ did at the Last Supper, coming to the table of God and sharing the very spiritually significant experience of communion. Mitchell and Casey have chosen to take communion after saying their vows to acknowledge the place that Christianity plays in the relationship and the role that faith will play in helping them be faithful to the vows they've recited. As the Bible tells us, Christ gathered his disciples the evening before his taking to the cross and shared a meal. This meal was different than the others before it, and that Christ asked that they make special note of the occasion. Christ, knowing of his fate, wanted to ensure that each disciple understood that his presence was not fleeting, that Christ was to remain with them always in their hearts, souls, and minds, so they would not forget the unity of spirit. He asked that they take the bread and the cup together in the spirit of one. Wait till I say so. Go ahead, Robert. And we're going to go back. And then hold it and you're going to give it to each other when I say so. Even after you eat this bread, do so remembering me. And they ate the bread. We'll come together. The hazard of each here, right? All come together.
It's the aliens trying to contact me.
This one you're going to do for yourself, but just hold it for
It's
Christ said, even as you drink this cup, do so remembering me. And they all took the cup. The taking of a meal together, especially when remembering the life and sacrifice of Christ, ensures that we do not forget that we are all one body, one blood, one spirit, and the breaking of the bread and sharing of the cup is more than nourishment or the quenching of thirst, but the sharing of ourselves. Let me get the maid of honor and the best man to come up and join us in the front here. I'm going to help with the sand ceremony because it's too wet back here. So if one of you could hold this and the other take the cap. And here we got some light blue sand, and we got some dark purple here. All right, so go ahead and you can take the tops off here. Okay, and you guys can pour together. I don't think the funnel's going to help any because it all gets stuck with the wetness there. Mitchell and Casey, together you join your separate lives together. The separate bottles of sand symbolize your separate lives, separate families, separate sets of friends. These bottles represent all that you are and all that you'll ever be as an individual. They also represent your lives before today. If you take these containers of sand and pour them into the main container, the individual containers of sand will no longer exist, but be joined together as one. Just as these grains of sand can never be separated and poured again into individual containers, so will your marriage be. If you can keep that in a dry place, we can put it on this table right here. Very good. Okay. We made it happen. 1 Corinthians 13:4-8 says, love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. Please join me for a prayer of blessing over their marriage. God in heaven, you ordained marriage for your children and you gave us love. We present you Mitchell and Casey who have come this day to be married. May the covenant of love they may be blessed with true devotion and spiritual commitment. We thank you for giving them strength and courage to keep their vows. Thank you for helping them to create for their family a peaceful, stable home of love as a foundation on which they can build their lives. When selfishness shows itself, grant generosity. When mistrust is a temptation, give moral strength. When there's misunderstanding, give patience and gentleness. When suffering becomes a part of their lives, give them a strong faith and abiding love. Amen. Mitchell and Casey, in the future, happy occasions will come as surely as the morning. Difficult times will come as surely as the night. To say the words love and compassion is easy, but to accept that love and compassion are built upon patience and perseverance is not easy. Mitchell and Casey, as much as you've declared your willingness to enter the state of marriage with each other, declare the same in the company of God and these witnesses. By the virtue of authority vested in me as an ordained minister, and by the state of Florida, I pronounce you husband and wife, united in the pure and holy bonds of wedlock. Where God is joined, let no one separate. Go forth in this life as husband and wife with the blessing of God. Be loving, patient, and kind, and above all, forgive one another as God has forgiven you. It's my pleasure to introduce to you all for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell Mays. You may kiss each other. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mitchell and Casey, thank you all for being present on their most special of days. They're going to go take some pictures at this time. The rest of us are going to, first of all, try and stay dry. Second of all, we're going to figure out what's going on with the food and everything like that. But there's a lot of yummy food here that everybody's going to partake in, but some logistics here that we'll work through and get everybody taken care of, okay? So again, thank you for being here and braving the weather and all this to be part of this special day. Thank you.
Jesus